Hello there. Sorry, I see some tubes. Cool little car. So I think then we're on to the interview itself. And I guess all I've really said about it is just stay calm, control what you can control. It is a two-way thing. So, you know, they control the questions they're going to ask you, obviously. But you have a certain amount of control for the pace. Let's get those cars by me. So you have a certain amount of control of the pace of the interview. And I'll give you an example of kind of both of those things, staying calm and controlling the pace. So the first question they asked in my interview, it didn't entirely line up with what I was expecting. It was kind of what I was expecting. It was around performance management. And I started, like, let's call it freestyling. So I thought, oh, well, let me tell them about this person that I managed. And I started, and I thought, I don't know, I can pad this out properly in the star format with enough that makes it a good answer. So I kind of stopped saying, no, actually, let me tell you about the time that this blah blah blah, and I started something else. And again, I'm still freestyling at this point. And then I'm thinking, oh, but that's not, I mean, this is pretty basic. There's not much to it. So I think I said, I mean, literally just something along the lines of, actually, no, sorry, can I just have a minute? I want to think about what answer is best for you. And I just started scrolling through my 21 different, well, when you bookmark things, well, you use different headers. Heading 2, I think there were, or whatever, I don't know, heading 1 maybe, I forget. You get like almost an index down the side of your Google document. So I'm just looking over the headings. And I'm looking through, and I saw one that I thought, actually, doesn't align perfectly with that question, but I felt it would give me enough meat and substance in the answer that would tick the boxes they were looking for. So I said, actually, okay, what I'm going to tell you about is this one. And then I'm back on script with all my bullet points and everything. Different situation completely. Got my confidence right back. Oh, he's slow. Left turn. I don't know why that motorbike will slow right down in front of me then. Anyway, so yeah, stay calm, and if you need to slow things down, slow them down. Like I say, actually, I'm just going to take a moment, if that's okay. And it feels a bit weird and a bit awkward, perhaps, like nobody talking. Oh, it's a lovely day. Look at this. But that's fine, and I think so. I've had similar to that when I've been interviewing somebody, and I thought really well of her for doing that. I don't think she started twice on answers and changed her mind, but I think she just said, I'm just going to take a moment to think about it, if it's okay, and just sat there quietly. You can see her thinking, sort of thing. I mean, the other thing is, it's a good idea. Oh, look, it's amazing. It's a good idea to ask them to repeat the question. Sometimes they say it slightly differently. Sometimes they're literally reading the script and you get the same thing again. sometimes it's good to repeat the question back to them, and maybe you slightly rephrase it and see if they sort of correct you, or you know, basically tell you no, and give you. It's also worth writing it down, and different things work for different people. Sometimes when you write it down, you see it a little bit differently, and you maybe pick out words that you didn't necessarily kind of focus much on when they first read the question to you, because that is key. I probably should have mentioned all this before you sort of picking out what your answer is going to be, but just be very clear what you think they're asking you, I suppose. Which I suppose is what I did, so the way it was phrased wasn't expected what I expected, but I thought through what are they looking for here, and then pick my answer based on that, which must have worked, I guess. Then I guess it comes to the very end, you know, they're going to ask if you've got any questions. Make sure you've got some questions. I went with some of the obvious ones, I suppose. Well, you know, so what does career progression look like in this role, I asked. I don't think I had listed how would my performance be evaluated, but looking back in the sort of the job description, job advert, job brief, it sort of told me that, so I don't want to ask that because it made me look maybe like I'm not prepared. I said, or I asked, digital has been expanding massively in the last 2 years. No, digital has been expanding rapidly recently. How do you see that changing, if at all, in the next 2 years? Well, that was quite a good question. I asked a little about the whole working from home element. And then what I thought was a really good question, which, to be fair, initially I hadn't put in, and one of the people I met with was like a interview coach. That's another good idea. And morning. And it was a question that I'd seen, but I'd originally gone with, is there any feedback you have for me today based on this interview? But I even said to him, I'm not sure I want to ask this question, because I think I must have said earlier, it takes a strong person in some ways to give direct feedback, especially if it's going to be negative about anybody. So is there any point in me asking that? So, morning. So what we changed the question to was, so the question I asked, do you have any concerns about me that I've not been able to address in answering the questions so far today? Or something along those lines. Because a lot of the time they're kind of running off a script of the questions they have to ask. And especially me being in quite a different position in that, you know, I don't have experience, they might still be thinking, I don't know if he can do X, Y, or Z. So you're giving them the opportunity at this point to say, well, actually, you know, tell me about how you would deal with blah blah blah, or have you ever done this? So I actually thought that was a really good question. So that's maybe top tip number 4, 5, I don't know whether. It's another top tip. I think that's kind of it. Oh yeah, so when I asked that, in some ways it kind of answered my do you have any feedback type thing on how I've done, because I asked that question and the two people interviewing me both, I mean, almost instantly, nope. And I was like, okay, well, I guess that's good. So, and that was kind of it. I was then expecting as well, actually, I thought it'd go back to them and they asked me about salary expectations. And I was all quite ready to go into that. Morning. Electric Honda, I think. Yeah, I was all ready to go in to talk about salary expectations, and you know, if it started at X and went to Y, I was looking at X plus a little bit, because I'm aware I don't have experience, etc, etc. I was going to like open up with, this isn't about money. this, I mean, let's be honest, it's about me trying to keep a job, and it's trying, you know, it's about sort of job security and all that sort of thing. But yeah, they just sort of, when I'd say no, that's that, I've finished all my questions, thank you. All right, brilliant. Right, well, I guess we'll be in touch soon. Oh, okay. So, oh, it's a bit open here, it's a bit windy. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll come a bit closer. So yeah, the interview, it started at 10, it finished at about quarter to 12, quarter to noon. And they just sort of said, well, you know, we'll let you know on a Friday as well. In my head, I'm thinking, oh, I probably won't know till Monday. It'll be an annoying weekend not knowing my future. Bearing in mind, my last shift was going to then be the Thursday. But anyway, I just finished like attending a presentation almost at about 2:30. My mobile phone rang with a number I didn't recognise. I almost didn't answer. You know what it's like when it's a number you don't recognise. I didn't really think it might be recruitment. I thought they'd email me or someone would Slack me, or anyway, I answered, and it was resourcing. Hi Andy, we've got some good news for you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Brilliant, fantastic. They told me how much they're offering pay wise, which was kind of where I was going to say, a little bit more actually than I was going to have asked. So yeah, that's fine, thanks. It's an increase on what I was getting paid as a in store, about a 15% increase. So I was chuffed. And that was it. So you know, she said, you know, she wasn't in the interview, but she said you did really well in the interview, you smashed it. That's not brilliant, okay. Super chuffed. So I was buzzing all afternoon. I was on the phone and video chats to friends and family. Didn't get a lot of work done, if I'm honest. Then I went out for a bike ride just full of beans, just pushing like just going fast because I was just full of energy. And then at night I just couldn't sleep, laying there in bed. It was gone half midnight when I finally got to sleep, I think. So that's my story. I mean, in some ways the video is as much for me documenting what I did. I'm really proud of what I did and what I achieved. You know, going from, I mean, I was 99% sure I was going to be out of a job by this coming summer. I started looking at the other jobs available, the pay ranges. And not be funny, I'd always said I wouldn't work for another retailer other than John Lewis Partnership, because they do generally look after you. I mean, despite the fact them trying to make me redundant, I do get this. You're still running a business. This isn't a social club. But they do on the whole look after you, and I don't think you'll get the same with Asda or Tesco or Sainsbury's. So going from like almost certainly thinking, oh, what am I going to do? Okay, it'll be a good payout because again, it's the John Lewis Partnership. I'd have got more than, I'd have got about a year and a half's wage. So I'd have lasted well, but it was still quite, oh my god, my life is going to be so different now. I don't think I'll be able to earn what I was earning before. I might not enjoy my job as much. I was just preparing myself for, well, almost like a downward decline to retirement. So to go from that position to landing a job in my new chosen field, I'm really proud of what I did. It's funny, I've been trying to thank people. So many people have helped me. Again, maybe it's the partnership thing. So many people have helped me, and I've been trying to thank them. And a lot of them just don't want it. And you've done amazing, you've done great, Sanya. Which again is nice, but I just want them to take the thanks. Like, oh, you're most welcome. Anyway, so yeah, this video was almost as much about just like documenting it for myself. Like maybe I'll watch it in 10 years time, like, oh, I remember I did that, yeah, well, anyway. I do that with a lot of my videos, to be fair. Watching back myself because I've got a terrible memory. But maybe it's helped someone else. Maybe those amazing top tips I've given will help someone else, maybe almost inspire, because I do wonder, I wish I'd thought to do this earlier. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. But maybe it'll inspire somebody else to go and find a job more suited to their interests. I do like a Mustang. Oh, paint fumes. I tried to set the camera on, but I think I was pointing up in a weird angle. Because I've only got my stem bag with me. Yes, some guys spray painting in the tunnel there, and it's, although it's open at both ends, it's quite an enclosed area, so what the fumes! Give me an extra little boost for the last 10 miles home. Oh, a bit of a climb, short and sharp. So, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Please do comment. There's a few things I'd love to hear. I guess initially, just is this useful? Is it helpful? Has it helped anybody? Did you make it to the end? I'm just going to be really curious, because I'm guessing by now, I don't know, I feel like I've talked a lot. I feel like it's going to be a long video. So if you go this far and you comment, fit the words banana hammock into the comments somewhere so I know you've made it to the end. And just to confuse anyone else that's reading it, like, what is he on about? Anyway. Also, really curious to know, so if I've just been sat in my room talking like this, I think it'd be a little bit of a dull video. Does it help that I'm out cycling? Does it make it more interesting with scenery to look at? So I'd love to hear feedback. Always have to feedback. Love to hear feedback on that. Oh, I'm looking forward to dinner, lunch at this point. 36 miles in, 70 miles yesterday. So it's been very gentle, this one though. Nice little recovery spin. So if you have enjoyed it, obviously make sure you subscribe. I think I'm going to do a lot more content cycling. Might upset some, but yeah, please give a thumbs up, because it does, again, it helps the video, it helps me, it helps the channel. Anyway, do take care of yourselves. For now, my name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.